teachers to get the parents involved. And how do you go about this when the parents can be very lackadaisical?
Well, first of all, many parents have more in low SES schools have more time because a lot of them don't work. So what we have to do is find positive ways to bring them into the school during the school day because they will not come at night. So we try to meet their needs on our campus and then hook them and then help let them come in and feel comfortable in the school, and then we can have those conversations that we need to have.
And another problem that I've noticed, that when I've researched, it said that a lot of times it's hard to communicate what the expectations are to the students and get them to even desire to reach that.
First of all, we have done a lot of research with Ruby Payne in Children of Poverty, and one of the things that she has found in her research is that children of poverty, more than children in a normal or a regular setting, tend to need a lot more structure and thrive in structure. So we have brought in a system called CHAMPS that is a behavior management system. It gives clear expectations for behaviors. And so once we get the behavior expectation down, students know they're more successful. Once they feel comfortable in that area, then we can motivate them.
Do you notice more absences because we're in like a lower economy based area?
My attendance rate is around 97%, and by the end of the school year it'll probably be right at 95%. I do notice higher absentees close to holidays and things like that when parents might not realize the importance of education. A lot of parents don't understand. They'll come to check their kids out early because they don't want to wait in line to pick them up. And we have to really explain that we are learning from the time the bell rings in the morning until the time the bell rings in the afternoon, that every second is precious and instructional, and that if a child misses, they miss out. Many parents, if they'll take them to the doctor, they just don't bring them back. They don't realize the importance of every minute.
I know the education system has gotten a lot more structured since it was probably when you started teaching. I know when my mom started teaching, and it's very, very strict on how exactly you have to teach these kids, and the TAKS test or the STAR test. And how do you agree with everything that's being done, or do you see that there might be a better way of approaching it?
Oh, I think there's always a better way. Right. To me, we've gone crazy with testing. I think testing and accountability is definitely necessary. I think we've gone to the extreme. There is no time for fun learning. It's all focused on the test, and there's so much pressure on the teachers and the students that the teacher morale becomes low, the student morale becomes low, and we are judged based on one test that happens on one day. You could have had a bad night the night before and been a really good student and just bombed the test. So I really wish we could do a test portfolio, combination of assessment, and that everything is not just judged on test.
First of all, when I was chit-chatting with a principal of a school in Waco, she was saying a lot of what is so difficult about the schools today is the standardized testing and how they're making that such a big deal, and it's hard for schools that are low SES to be successful because they teach the test. What's your opinion on that?
They're so focused on that, and the pressure is so great on teachers for those students to pass that test that I feel like they're not learning a lot of the basics that help them able to continue on to middle school and high schools.
Also, one thing, I know that you have had a lot of experience in schools with Native Hispanic speaking children and children that come from a totally different culture than the average white American. What difficulties have you seen them go through, and what do you think that we could do a better job at when it comes to teaching?
There are opinions out there that they should keep being taught Spanish through kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. But by fifth grade, they have to take those standardized tests in English. And they may know that science, but they don't know how to read in English, so they don't do well on those tests. I strongly believe that they should be taught English in kindergarten, and more English than Spanish, because the younger they are, the quicker they pick it up. And I will tell you, these teachers that are teaching right now, they agree with it, and they're told they have to do it the other way, and they disagree. And what's frustrating is people interview teachers, talk to teachers, but the people that create these rules aren't in the classroom, and they don't see reality. It looks great on paper. If you read these ideas and techniques on paper, it looks good, but in
Do you remember when we were just kids and cardboard boxes took us miles from what we would miss? Schoolyard come.
How the government is handling everything and what should be done. And there's a dog in the picture. There's a dog in my lap. And
English, so they don't do well on this test. And so a lot of the teachers get
Dad, I'm trying to record
Jim, we're in an
something.
interview. I'm being recorded live. Oh my word. We have the dog, now we have you.
As long as you pause, where